I'm not as good a speaker as Tony. But we are here today because of our daughter, Dawn Priscilla. Even though she was threatened to leave the state or go to federal prison, Dawn wanted to do what was right and to expose all the corruption that was going on inside the Mortgage Task Force unit. We met with Dan Syriac 14 months ago at the Parma Police Department. After over a year later, we still don't know what's going on. When we first met Dan Syriac, we were told that because it involved political figures, that it was above their pay grade and they couldn't investigate. But if another law enforcement agency wanted it, they said they would turn it over. Since then, two law enforcement agencies are willing to reopen the case concerning the suspicious death of our daughter. BCI, the Bureau of Criminal Investigation, the Cold Case Unit, sent a letter stating that if they got a referral from Parma, they would take it. We also received a letter from the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, and I'll read an excerpt of that shortly. But yet, even though it is above their pay grade, they still refuse to have the two proper authorities that want to investigate the suspicious death of our daughter. I'm not reading all of this. This is some 30 pages. But there's one paragraph I want to read is, after reviewing the Parma police case file, it was clear that the Parma Police Department did not investigate the death of the descendant. There was not one interview conducted in this matter. An area canvass, in this case, a canvass of the descendant's neighbors located in the apartment building, was not completed. Furthermore, there is not any indication in any of the police reports provided that an attempt was made to retrieve video surveillance from the apartment complex, the entries, the exits, and there was no attempt whatsoever to preserve any evidence collected at the crime scene. Those aren't my words. The Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department calls it a crime scene, and yet Parma's still sitting on it. Just three little notes I made. When my daughter passed away, she was found, it was a 0.59% at the time of her death. Now, according to scientific studies, you lose 0.015% per hour. Her autopsy wasn't done for after 24 hours. So what they're telling me is that when my daughter did die, she had a 0.95. 0.95 is 3 times over the limit of an alcoholic coma at 0.30. It's humanly impossible for her to do it. The second point I want to say is that when my daughter passed away, we weren't allowed to see her. We weren't allowed to identify her. We weren't allowed to go to the coroner's office to see our daughter. They told us her face was so disfigured or misshaped that we shouldn't come down there. And one point I want to make is, when my daughter was found, she was dead for over 12 hours. Rigor mortis has set in. Why did we find, I didn't find it, but why were there 4 pads on her chest? I don't know. That's all I have to say.